want to talk about shelter. People tend to go in one of two extremes when it comes to shelter. They either think that goats don't need hardly any shelter whatsoever, or they think that they need something that's insulated and heated and very fancy. And both of those are untrue unless you live in the most extreme conditions. You know, like if you're on the equator, yeah, your goats probably don't need a whole lot of shelter. On the other hand, if you're in northern Canada, your goats are going to need a lot more than goats living anywhere in the United States. So behind me is a three-sided shelter, which is what we have in all of our pastures, so that if it rains, the goats can run inside, because goats think they're going to melt if they get wet. So first of all, if you don't have a shelter for them to run into when it rains, they're going to be screaming bloody murder. The other thing is that goats can get chilled. They get hypothermia if it's cold. So like if it's 40 degrees outside and raining and your goats get wet, they can definitely get hypothermia. And we have had this happen a couple times. Not that goats were outside in the rain, because we do have shelters in all of our pastures, but when we had a creek flood one time and it flooded the pasture, and the goats that were in there wound up, chest deep in water. And another time, somehow a goat freakishly fell into a water trough when it was like in the 30s outside. And so when we found her, the poor little thing was just shivering so badly, but thankfully she did recover. So a shelter like this is great in the pasture when they're grazing and they just need a place to run in when it is raining. This is the kind of shelter we have for all of our bucks. And we're in Illinois, and our bucks do stay in these shelters a lot during the winter. However, if there's going to be a lot of blowing snow, then we bring them into the barn, because snow will blow into these. Even though they're open to the south, if snow is swirling, it can wind up going in there and then causing it to fill up with snow. And you don't want the goats getting snow blown up against them or buried in snow. And if you look over there, you see that we do have a nice big 30-foot by 100-foot barn that our milkers go into every night. That's where our milking parlor is. They get milked in the morning, and then they come outside during the day. And the barn on the left is our kidding barn, where the goats have their babies. And during kidding season, you will see videos taken in the kidding barn for sure. If you've got any questions, post in the comment section below. Bye for now.